get ready to have your mind blown with this super primal hanging tomahawk steak. It's been done before for millennia. So good. I'm really impressed. That's like edge to edge perfection. It takes a little bit of work and you have to work your fire management to get this done. But overall, hanging tomahawk steak is one of my favorites. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what a tomahawk steak is. Tomahawk steak is basically just an elongated bone on a ribeye. So this is the same area that you get prime rib. If the bone is cut short all the way down here, then it's just a bone-in ribeye. If it has a little bit of an extension coming off, you could call it like a Frenched bone-in ribeye, or you could call it a cowboy steak. And then if you have about a couple of inches coming off of the bone itself, you're gonna get what we would call a tomahawk. I love it. If you love ribeyes, obviously you're gonna love this steak. Let's show you how you get this ready to hang over the fire. This is where the fun begins. We're gonna use this guy to drill a hole into the bone. And we're gonna drill into this guy about an inch in, right in the center. Just gently let the drill do its work. Once you made it through the center right there, you'll see that. And there you go. Next piece, we have a hook. Hook it in, and we have our hanging tomahawk ready to go. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to utilize some chicken wire. So I have some chicken wire right here. It's bendable. I like to add this onto the actual grill so I can like move it up and down as needed. Now you don't need a ton of it, maybe about 2 feet. Twist it on to really just secure it onto the hook, and we are ready to go. I'm gonna add this guy onto the fire grill, but before we add it on, we need to season it up. All right, so add a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, garlic, and boom, ready to go. Now we just need to get our fire set up so we can add this guy onto the grill. Okay, so I have my fire grill set up in a 3-zone method. So we have a hot zone that's gonna be on the outside, a hot zone that's gonna be on the outside, and then a cool zone in the middle. The reason for that is that we're gonna hang this guy from the middle, and I really don't want it to cook too hot directly underneath it. We wanna make sure it cooks indirectly in between the fires so that we can cook it from all sides vertically. We're gonna pull this guy off later once it hits about 100 degrees internal, and then we're gonna sear it off on all sides to make sure we get a great crust. It's kind of a fun way of open fire cooking indirectly, like this like open fire reverse searing. I'm gonna add the charcoal on each outside area, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more wood on top of this charcoal so we can get the fire going a little bit taller. I have some cowboy cherry chunks. I like using cherry just because it adds a little bit of this like smoky sweetness on the outside, but it's not like sugary sweetness. It's like smoky light sweetness. So we're gonna add this on into our charcoal. So you can kind of see the color is much darker than maybe a traditional just like oak. This is really good stuff to add to your smoker as well. So add that in, boom, boom. All right, so let's get this up, let the fire kind of kick up, and then we'll add the tomahawk on. All right, so we have like a nice, cool, slow heat going on with this guy. I can hold it for about like 9 to 10 seconds, which is what we're looking for. This is gonna take like about an hour to actually cook this guy. So I'm gonna add the tomahawk on, wrap it. We're just gonna let it cook like that. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more charcoal as we need and just slowly let this guy cook over the next hour or so. I'm gonna go grab myself a glass of whiskey, and then I'm gonna test out 2 of my favorite sauces, smoked, to see which one pairs the best with this. So stay tuned. So this guy was only on for like 30-ish minutes, maybe 40 minutes, but we're done. It's at like 110. So I'm gonna pull this guy off and let him rest, and then we're gonna sear him off hot and fast over the fire. So while it's resting, we're gonna work on those sauces. We have the tomahawk off, it's resting. So let's work on 2 of my favorite sauces, but we're gonna smoke them. Let's start with the first one. chimichurri. I have my handy dandy mason jar. I like making sauces in mason jars because I can keep them for a while and it's just really convenient. First things first, I have a bunch of minced garlic, then chopped parsley. So I like using flat leaf Italian, but if all you have is curly parsley, totally fine, not the end of the world. We have some red chili flakes. You're more than welcome to use like fresh red chilies if you want to, but I prefer the flakes. 1 tablespoon is usually enough. Now we're gonna add some salt, pepper, garlic. Add that in. I'm gonna do about 1/3 of a cup of red wine vinegar. All right, and then last but not least, just adding a bunch of olive oil, probably 1/2 cup, and mix this together. And there we have it. We have our chimichurri. Let's work on the cowboy butter. I have some melted unsalted butter. Pour that in. Parsley and minced garlic, Dijon mustard, 1/2 of a lemon juiced. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of red chili flakes and then salt, pepper, garlic. Now, mix this guy up. Cowboy butter, chimichurri. Now, what if we smoke them? How are we gonna do that? Let me show you. I'm gonna grab a smoldering coal from the fire, ash white, blow it off. Don't want any of that excess ash. Drop it into the mason jar. Cover this guy up. We're just gonna let it smoke for maybe like 5-6 minutes. Smoked chimichurri, smoked cowboy butter. Pull out the charcoal, and then we're ready to go. We'll let the steak rest. I'm gonna sear it off over extremely high heat. So I want it to sear extremely hot. It's fully cooked, so this is basically similar to reverse searing. All right, so we got a decent little crust on this guy. I'm gonna pull him off and just set them to the side for a minute to cool, and then we'll serve it up with the 2 sauces. Look at this guy. It looks amazing. Let's slice into it, see how it looks on the inside. All right, so I'm gonna follow the bone on the outside, get right down here. That looks pretty perfect to me. I can't believe that we did this hanging. All right, so we got cowboy butter and chimichurri. Let's try them out. Classic. That's so good. A little smoky, buttery. Now we have chimi. This guy's juicy, juicy. So good. I'm really impressed. That's like edge to edge perfection. Honestly, I've done many hanging tomahawks. That has to be the best one I've ever made. Between the 2 sauces, gosh, I can't really decide. I think I'm gonna go with chimichurri though. Classic is always the best. I really think that the cowboy butter is like 1% behind chimi. Like they're both just absolutely incredible. Super impressed with the fire grill to pull this off, hanging that. That was the first time I've ever done that on the fire grill. All that to say, you can find how to do a hanging tomahawk in the description below. Go and smash that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment on what you think I should be hanging on the fire grill next. Make sure to go and check out my seasonings, cowboy butter. Got a new one coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you're in the Midwest, cowboy butter is in Costco. So go and check that out. As always, stay so freaking delicious. Cheers. Chimi and cowboy butter are like a dynamic duo, like Batman and Robin, Tupac and Biggie, Shaq and Kobe, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, Derek and Seeing You Later. Bye.